Precision medicine considers a patient's genes, considers their environment, and their lifestyle when determining their treatment. And this is what we have been talking about since this morning. It's my pleasure to be joined by Dr. Al-Manai and Dr. Alipur. Thank you so much for being with us today. Thank you for joining us once again today, Dr. Alipur. We had a conversation last year on this stage, and I do have a few follow-ups for you. But first, Dr. Al-Manai, how do PPPs really help to advance precision medicine?
It's a very interesting question. And first of all, I would like to thank you for hosting us here in this great forum. Public-private partnership is a mechanism or a way where we can collaborate and augment all our efforts in order to achieve the vision. Everybody knows that collaboration is a crucial element for the delivery of any project. So within healthcare and within precision medicine, which is a new endeavor for most of the regions of the world, it is crucial that we augment all our capabilities, the talent, the resources, the knowledge sharing into a single platform where we believe that transforming healthcare from one-size-fits-all to personalized preventive medicine is going to be a reality. And this is how we put all the effort from the public domain and the private sector to reach out a sustainable yet effective way of achieving a precision and personalized medicine. And our aim here in Abu Dhabi, we believe so much into the PPP model. We have great successful examples where we join forces from public sector and private sectors with the regulators and the wider ecosystem to achieve impactful changes to improve the care of our population.
And Dr. Alipur's company is actually producing some of these medicines. And if I recall correctly, last year you said that your AI had produced over 100 medicines independent of any human intervention. So it's 1 year later, how many medicines very quickly have you produced with the AI independent of any human intervention?
Yeah, currently we have 9 medicines in clinical trials, 2 in phase 2, 7 in phase 1, and we have over 30 new programs in our pipeline. Yesterday, we just announced positive results of our phase 2 study, where we demonstrated efficacy of our molecule in lung fibrosis. We improved forced vital capacity in lung function, and this is the first case where AI-discovered molecule, generative AI-discovered molecule, made it into phase 2 and showed efficacy. So we kind of see this transformation, disruption in the way pharmaceutical industry works in terms of finding new drugs, finding new medicines that go after unmet medical needs.
And just on that, remind us how the integration of AI and robotics is really improving high throughput screening and validation in your drug discovery.
Yeah, so we have been around for about 10 years, right? So, and since the get-go, our goal was to establish a holistic platform that would combine biology, chemistry, and medicine together, so we have a control of the entire cycle of drug discovery. Typically, it's over 10 years. It takes billions of dollars to develop one medicine. So we made it very efficient. So instead of 5 years to get to a clinical candidate, we do it in 1.5 years. So we sped it up 3 times, and we made it vastly more affordable. Once we established the AI platform, the only remaining bottleneck for us was automation. How do we automate all the wet lab experiments from synthesis to screening so we go even faster? And automation is coming to every single industry, right? It's not only healthcare and drug discovery, so it's inevitable. So we established this robotics lab in 800 square meter space, no humans allowed inside, so we have a single and dual arm robotics, autonomous guided vehicles that go from station to station, and from a single sample, let's say patients comes in, we get a sample, let's say a tumor biopsy, and we can get a high throughput screening data in terms of imaging, deep phenotyping, multi-omics profiling for a single sample. And This is connected to the AI platform. It makes an educated decision based on the data, which treatments to screen these cells for, the samples for. And in the case of cancer, we can select one of the compounds or several compounds from our database, from our library in the lab, and test them dynamically on the cells and see what would be the response. So this kind of automation, precision medicine approach is what is enabled by next generation robotics, and that's what we're working on.
Incredibly more efficient, immeasurably more efficient, perhaps. You've cut the time of creating medicines in half, and we will hear more about the labs that you're using a little bit later. But Dr. Amanai, would you share with us some examples of successful collaborations that you've embarked on that have really improved access to personalized treatments?
Absolutely. First of all, let me share with you the vision. What we want to achieve here in Abu Dhabi is to position Abu Dhabi as a life science hub. And why do we want to do that? Is to enable more advanced and innovative therapy to be accessible to our patient in an accelerated approach. And we have done that by investing heavily in the infrastructure, in building a robust and wealth of data sets integrated across whole healthcare facilities in Abu Dhabi, 100% integration. And on top of that, we have built a layer of the genome data that will give more personalized ability for us to explore further. And building this innovative approach and building this innovative platform is actually a foundation for delivering healthcare services that are personalized and precise. And to give you an example, we have used the data available, the phenotypic data and the genotypic data, to guide patient care in the oncology field. Now the patient who are suffering from cancer can have a tailored plan for treatment based on their genetic makeup. We know that our response to medication varies in accordance to our genetic capabilities, and that has been proven by science. And this is why right now it is on the ground, it's reality happening in Abu Dhabi. And we are not stopping here. We have already executed the pharmacogenomics program, which will provide every person who is part of the genome program to have a tailored information data about their capabilities to respond to different drugs and the different interactions, which is going to reduce this unwanted side effect and augment the expected outcome of those medications. And more to that, I was just discussing across the hall with Dr. Ghadira, who is leading the cardiovascular precision program, in which we are now developing more of an informative way of how we are going to manage the cardiovascular diseases, specifically those who have a genetic component. And this is happening in reality in Abu Dhabi. It's not theoretical, it's not on paper. This is actually a transformation that is happening here in Abu Dhabi. And we are moving forward with the partnership, with the local collaboration and international collaboration to expand the usability of this wealth of data to provide preventive and personalized medicine.
The advancements here really are incredible, and we hear more about them every year. And Dr. Alipur, I mean, it's really difficult to overstate the impact technology has had on the efficiency with which drugs are produced, as you mentioned to us earlier. Help us understand to what degree technology has improved efficiency in drug creation.
We can take as an example our leading case study in lung fibrosis. Instead of 5 years to get to clinical candidate, took us 18 months. Instead of $200 million, we did it on $2.5 million budget, right? So, this is the most leading program in our case, the first program. We have follow-up programs where we went even faster, like 1 year from zero to preclinical candidate. In terms of automation, robotics lab, so one robotics lab replaces 100 people in our experience. So, and 100 people would work without vacations, without sleep breaks. So non-stop 24/7 operation that robotics facility allows us to perform. I think if we go forward, we still have thousands of diseases without a cure, without any treatment option. We have a rising incidence of chronic disorders, right? So we need to do better in terms of preventative approaches. How do we prevent those chronic disorders from happening? But also therapeutic options, because there are many unmet medical needs that without appropriate therapeutic options, right? So we're striving to change that, and I think the whole concept of going after healthy, productive longevity is a very essential and pressing problem that we're facing right now. So we need to solve it.
And how long would you say it will be before these technologies find us help cures for diseases that currently are not curable?
So we have case studies for both diseases with huge incidence in terms of global scale, like oncology. We have 15 programs in oncology, different types of cancer, from targeted therapeutics to more broad spectrum immune oncology molecules. We also have more targeted medicines, like one for lung fibrosis. We have programs for instance, ALS. That's a neurological disorder affecting middle and old age people. Currently in phase 2 with our partner, so derived from our AI platform and mechanism we discovered with the AI platform we developed. I think in general, an entire Middle East region, if you take last couple centuries, hasn't discovered a novel therapeutic for a novel target. So we try to change the paradigm and to change this oligopoly of pharma R&D, which is centered in Basel, Boston, London, right? So we want to be able to discover drugs here in Abu Dhabi, make them, develop them for global use, right? So like Apple model, designed in California, made in China. So design in Abu Dhabi, make in China, India, or other CRO network. So that's the model we're adopting, and I think that's the only way how we can tackle this pressing healthcare issue.
And just finally, I would like to take a peek into the future. 10 years from now, let's say, what are the biggest changes? What are the evolutions that we're going to see?
It's really interesting questions, and I've been enjoying to what is being done here actually. And moving forward, 10 years from now, you have the power of data. You have also the analytic power of the AI and what you can do to accelerate and cut short actually what has been, what used to take years from an R&D space. So I believe within 10 years from now or decades from now, we are going to see major transformation of how healthcare is being delivered. It's going to be more precise, more personalized, and it's not a dream, honestly. It's not a dream that the next, decades operation is going to be done in the DNA, not in the operation theater. It's going to be done in labs. And those are the discoveries that, we are anticipating and we are seeing actually some progress. Cancer, right now we have vaccines. And this is something that, I believe in 2 years talk we had in Arab Health, that was like saying, a vaccine for cancer, actually it's reality today. And that is 2 years. How about 10 years from now? With the wealth of data and acceleration, I believe we are now crossing the foundation of bioconvergence. It's happening today. And I believe it's going to be a very beautiful, healthy future.
Inshallah. Dr. Alipur.
Well, I think within 10-year period, we'll see automation is one thing, right? It is coming to the healthcare, every industry. Second, I think the trends that I kind of mentioned with a rapidly aging population, although UAE is a relatively young nation, has a young population, but still the trend emerges, especially for locals. So we need to address the aging population problem. Because of that, I think UN already forecasting the spike in incidence of chronic disorders, chronic diseases, diabetes, cancer, and cardiovascular. And I think within 10 years, we need to adopt more strategies for preventative care and for care for elderly and elevate the healthy productive longevity bar, right? So this is a pressing issue. And I think in terms of precision medicine, more robotics-driven labs will be established, and even centralized solutions established regionally to profile every single patient, not only in terms of genetics, but multi-omics, imaging, deep phenotyping, lifestyle. So those multiple layers of data will be dynamically tracked, and because of that, we'll have a high precision in terms of prescription accuracy, right? So we'll be able to prescribe more efficacious regimen for every patient, and ultimately we'll have a better health outcomes.
So more precise and more personalized, as Dr. Almanai said, and hopefully accessible to everyone, most importantly. Thank you very much for joining me today and for your inputs. Thank you.
Thank you.